Fallout 4 has just been announced to no one's surprise but everyone's delight, and the trailer is loaded with more goodies than a pack Brahmin's back. So let's get stuck in. We start on a scene that flickers from an idyllic pre-war home to a post-nuclear wasteland, with a TV displaying the "Please stand by" message that we saw before the trailer went live. There's a blast radius board game on the floor. This is an Easter egg, or maybe a morbid hint that the family living in the house were too blind to see. We can hear the voice of Ron Perlman on the radio. He's the Fallout narrator, famous for all that "war never changes" business. He's saying that everything's gone to hell, basically. It's not unlikely that Fallout 4 will offer us a dog companion, as has been done in Fallout games before, the most famous one being lovely dog meat. It's clear that this isn't just some scavenging pup, as you can see by the dog bowl and the overall familiarity he has with the house, indicating that he's probably the family pet. With the dog being integrated into the game, will we see doggy perks? Oh yes, we will! Who's a good boy? The kitchen has a robot arm which looks like it's used for food preparation. That means robots, yeah! And then we see household robot butler Mr. Handy handing out sugar bombs, a Fallout item that can be eaten in-game to replenish health, or survive. Is this a return of hardcore mode from New Vegas where you had to eat and sleep just to live? Also worth noting that Mr. Handy seems to have a buzzsaw on one of his hands. Moral of the story? Don't trust robots, duh. It's pretty safe to say that we'll have radios in this game. The song currently playing is "It's All Over But the Crying" by the Ink Spots, a band that appears in many Fallout games, which confirms, unsurprisingly, the presence of oldies on the radio. As the camera rounds the corner, we see a crib containing a mystery baby, with some rather unsubtle saviour imagery as the light shines through the window. The baby has a Nuka-Cola toy truck, a rocket mobile, which looks like a Repcon rocket, a pre-war company that specialised in rocket manufacture, and on the floor of the room is some kind of brightly coloured, I'm just going to put it all out there and say that this is probably the Your Special book from Fallout 3, which lets you customise your attributes as a child. The attributes are strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck, which come together to form the word special. If you believe me, then this is even more proof that the protagonist is the baby in the crib. More on that later. You can also see what the parents look like, which could imply that we'll have a closer relationship with both than ever before. The dog seems to recognise the crib. Now, we don't see the dog in the before bits, though there is a small glimpse of the dog bowl, suggesting that the dog did live there, so either the dog is super old, or you've had more than one dog. Dog mysteries.
We do have coming in confirmed reports of nuclear detonations.
The air raid siren goes and the dog bolts, and the radio confirms nuclear detonation. Instantly, we see that the towns and neighbourhoods are less rubbly than before. We have streets, pavements, houses, and more remnants of civilization than previous Fallout games. We see varied environments, woods, industrial, close-knit neighbourhoods, as well as a vertibird in the sky. The sight of this military vehicle is our first indication of a stronger military presence. The constant flickering between pre-war and post-war could mean the inclusion of pre-war gameplay. Running to the vault, escaping with your family, having to murder a bunch of people in the queue before you to secure your place? Probably.
War never changes.
This is Fallout 4's Vault 111. It has the classic vault cogwheel style door, but unlike other vaults we've seen, it's accessed by a lift and a roof hatch style exit/entrance. This suggests new vault interiors and exteriors to explore, as in previous games. Some fans have been suggesting that this vault is a cryostasis vault, which would explain why the world seems to have changed so much in the time it took for that baby to grow up, and why the dog is still around, as well as the gap in time between when the bombs landed and when the vaults opened. Other fans have in the past written theories about how Vault 111 inhabitants were forced to celebrate Christmas all year round. Which probably won't be the case, but wouldn't that be fun? This bit is in first person, which implies that the protagonist, that's you, is exiting the vault for the first time, with the symbolic, the sun, it burns imagery of new birth. Also, he has a Pip-Boy. Here we may have our first proper view of the new game world, with expansive horizons, bare, desolate wasteland, pylons stretching off into the distance, and some kind of abandoned town. But let's talk about Boston! This is the Bunker Hill Memorial in Boston, with some fairly large chunks taken out of it. The Bunker Hill Memorial commemorates the first major conflict between American and British forces in the American Revolutionary War. There's the USS Constitution with some interesting rocket propulsion system attached to the bottom, and it looks like they've either converted the ship into some kind of building or touristy cafe, or the ship has crashed, which would imply that it can fly. Boston is, in Fallout lore, where the Commonwealth is based, a society that uses its super smarts to focus on the world of robotics, androids, and other things that sound really sinister. There's lots going on here. There's a place called the Memory Den, which looks like some kind of bar, but given the trailer's theme of reminiscing and flashbacks, could be more. It's set in Scollay Square, a Boston location, and appears to have some sort of cinema or theatre by the fact it lists Monday and Wednesday events on its sign. But even more exciting is the inclusion of the mysterious stranger, that's actually what he's called, in the middle. Who's the mysterious stranger? Well, in previous Fallout games, a perk can be bought which summons said stranger to assist you in the occasional scuffle. He's tall, dark, and mysterious, as you can see by his mysterious hat and coat. But more importantly, it all but confirms the return of perks to Fallout 4. Pack Brahmin confirmed. These are two-headed cow freaks that were used for carrying kit and equipment, as well as for their delicious irradiated meat. It does mean, however, that there are likely to be travelling merchants. These friendly-looking dudes seem at first glance to be members of the Brotherhood of Steel or the Enclave, military figures you see earlier in the trailer. However, on closer inspection, the figure on the left has armour that more closely resembles a super mutant, a reasonably powerful enemy from previous Fallout games, with heavy padded armour on one shoulder and rippling mutant pectorals. The one on the right has a gait that strongly resembles a super mutant swagger. This bot friend is a rusty Protectron robot, which, like most robots in Fallout, had an original function as a security robot before everything went horribly wrong. It's also our first look at a larger, more vibrant cityscape. Here we have a beachy scene with what looks like a shantytown built on top of a hollowed out submarine. The little dude in the foreground looks like a water-dwelling Mirelurk or some kind of bad mutant crab. This is a Deathclaw. Now your first instinct might be, oh no, please no, I need my legs, but bear with me. This guy seems to be an even worse variant, with bigger claws and bigger horns and probably even more reasons to hate you. And of course, he's hanging out in an irradiated barren wasteland. Home. Angry feral ghouls chase you through some kind of trolley-infested supermarket. This here is Boston's Fenway Park, as indicated by the batter statue outside. As we'll see in a second, this area, a town built around the stadium, is probably named Diamond City, after the diamond of the baseball field, hence the symbol on the door. We see an Enclave iBot indicating that those no-good rascals are still around, several shops selling noodles, medical supplies, and probably weapons. And here we have the Old North Church and a statue of Paul Revere, who alerted the Americans to the British approach. Why you? At this point, I'll just point out that there seems to be an increased military presence compared to previous games, because you might not have noticed that there's a big airship in the background. That symbol there isn't a well-known one as far as I can tell, but we've seen it twice now. With power and gasoline presumably hard to come by, could this be a new post-war business? First-person view from what looks like a vertibird may imply fast travel. Maybe. GNN stands for Galaxy News Network, the radio station from Fallout 3, which could well mean the return of our second favourite dog-related Fallout character, 3Dog. Awoo! Massachusetts State House and a lovely sunset here over what looks like another large, half-run-down city spreading off into the horizon. Just a quickie here. Could we see the Institute in Fallout 4? They were originally the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, aka MIT, and they are capable of using their highly advanced technology and smarts to create androids. Interesting indeed. Our lovely dog friend arrives at the now empty Vault 111, and we get a glimpse of a familiar family arriving in the flashback just as the bomb goes off. Do they survive? Why isn't the dog with them? What happened to the baby? And the dog's back, having a sniff past a Nuka-Cola fridge before coming to an open garage, and arguably the most interesting image of the whole trailer. Who's this guy? The dog enters the garage and we see this image of the following. a laser rifle on the wall with various weapon components implying more weapon customization, a limited edition trademark collective Vault Boy bobblehead, yay secrets, a standard issue ammo container next to a large minigun, Nuka-Cola poster and clock. I'm thirsty all of a sudden. A shelf in the top right filled with building components. Is this the return of item crafting and recipes? A magazine rack with a load of new comics, which traditionally boosted your skill in a certain area. Interestingly, some kind of Vault Tech item on the side which suggests new collectibles, perks or upgrades. Oh yeah, and the giant Brotherhood of Steel power armor in the middle on some giant yellow rig. Hang on a minute, does that mean customizable armor, please? Yeah, maybe. Above the building you can see part of what looks like the red rocket logo, which is a refueling station seen in previous Fallout games. This seems to be our new base of operations. Also, there's a giant rifle on the chair to the left, could come in handy. You can also see a broken Mr. Handy in the corner there. Poor guy. On the image that's up on the website, he's next to a workbench. Now, does this mean we're tearing him up for parts? Or are we building our own robot friend? A dude walks down what's left of the road and the dog runs to meet him. Yes, this Pip-Boy wearing, gun-toting, dog-having guy is totally the protagonist. Also, he talks. First voice-acted Fallout protagonist ever? And boom, the logo! But this one is a bit different. That lightning bolt is a little light bulb. Does that mean that this game might have some kind of electricity-related plot? That could tie in with that mystery logo we talked about before, or maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Probably that one. The main theme of this trailer and the reveal is home. We see the dog returning home. The tagline is welcome home, and the trailer centers around the idea of family, companionship, and home. I'm just assuming here, but it seems like the Fallout 4 protagonist has some kind of tie to that original family we see at the start, whether he's the baby or just a descendant. And the relationship with what seems like the family dog provides ties to that long-gone idyllic life. So what can we expect from Fallout 4 according to this 3-minute trailer? Brighter colours, talking protagonists, dogs, a new family-focused plot, and plenty of intrigue. Thanks for watching. I hope I've pointed out some stuff that you didn't notice. Make sure to like and subscribe for more juicy information as we get it, and let me know in the comments what you think we'll see. Bye!